Making masculine cards is one of the hardest kinds of cards to make. We love throwing embellishments and flowers and die cuts and lots of layers together for all of our cards, but then when it comes to the men in our life, we need to scale it all back. In this video today, I'm going to show you a great way to have those layers, use your stamping knowledge and technique, but make sure it's a good guy card. Hey there, I am Linda Bartolucci. I'm the owner of Ink Stamp and Scrap, and I have been creating cards for over 20 years. I'm on a mission to teach you how to make clean and simple cards, quick and easy, and make sure that you're using up your scraps while you're doing it. So let's get started. Today, we are going to use the triple time technique to make this card. I used nothing but greetings to make the layers pop and stand out. I love this stamp set because it's just so bold and works great for a masculine card. Now I super scaled this back. This is not only just using greetings, but also it's monochromatic, same color ink as cardstock, the whole 9 yards. This is as scaled down as you can do. This triple time technique card will have an associated blog post on my website that will be linked in the description below. That'll have measurements and supplies, and then also you will have the supply list in the description below. You don't need to take notes while you're watching this, just enjoy my entertaining education. To make this card, it's super easy, but there is one basic trick that you have to know, and then you're off to the races. The key to making this card work is in the measurements. And I have all of them right here. This is actually something I don't memorize. I have a technique library available to you. You can find it in the link below in the description, as well as I'll pop it up in a card. Take a look at it. It's got almost 80 different techniques, and this is just one of those 80. I print off the page from my technique library and I make my triple time cards. That's how I do it every single time. So the layer measurements, I am not going to quote them to you because I will forget something, and that is not good. To make the technique work, I'm going to move this out of our way. Just put it right over there. To make the technique work, you need to take away all the colored layers. Those are the mattes, and you just want to work with whatever neutral that you're going to use. And I will say, some people like to do this with designer series paper, and there's actually a second technique in the library that shows you how to do it with designer series paper. Now, the other thing about doing this is, yes, I am the queen of using liquid glue because I like it, because you can move it and fudge it and all that, but this technique takes a little while to do sometimes, and you don't want that glue setting up. So I do recommend that you use tape runner to do this. You don't have to worry. You can use permanent or repositionable. I'm using permanent today. You're using so little that it doesn't matter. So you're just going to layer these together, but you want to make sure that you really have them stuck because you're going to stamp on all the layers at once. Trust me, it's going to work. I know that sounds a little funky. Probably thinking, but you have edges and there's no way you're going to get like a nice clean stamp right there. And you're right, but that's where the beautiful masks come in. So I just put a little bit and I layered all these together. And now I'm going to get not only a matte, but I'm also going to get some paper because this is going to be messy. Because we are going to use this big, huge Happy Birthday that comes from the Layered Thoughts stamp set by Stampin' Up. I'll move this out of my way. I'm not going to need it again. I don't like, now that I'm looking at this on the grid paper, this looks a little bit off. So I just want to make sure this is as straight as possible, and it is now. Okay, so we are going to use my monochromatic Misty Moonlight stamp pad. This is a large stamp, so I'm going to walk it across and back and make sure that it's all nice and inked up. I am going to start in the upper corner. I don't want to go like that. I'm going to get the whole Happy Birthday, but it's just going to be not perfect. All right, and that's where we're going to start. And we're just going to mentally count to 5 or 10, depending on how long you want this to stay. And then make sure you're holding all 3 layers and lift straight up. It's okay that it looks like that. Remember, this is a hand-stamped card. You're taking the time. Not only are you taking the time to make it, but you're making it look really cool. So now I'm going to go over here. I don't want my second Happy Birthday to line up perfectly with that Y. See how there's a little gap there? I want that because if I go for perfection and I miss, I can really tell. But if you stagger everything, it looks like no matter how it ends up, that's the way you intended it. We're going to fill in the happy right here, and then we're going to stagger around it after that. I can already see I missed the T a little bit there, but we're just going to keep going because I have faith that between Layers, we have this little birthday guy. He can zhuzh over a little bit if we need him to. I didn't do what I told you to do. Hold that down. Okay, it still worked okay. Like our happy birthday could go right there. Remains to be seen. Or we could just put a little something there. Let's see. I'm gonna scoot this over and we are going to get this. Okay, there we go. Nope, looks like our happy birthday is gonna have to go fill in that big gap right there. So the T will just have to survive. That's okay. Like I said, handmade card, making it for somebody really, and they are gonna love it. All right, so this part we should be able to do with no trouble at all. I'm gonna go right along here. I love this technique. It just looks so cool. Every single time it comes out so cool. All right, I'm gonna grab another stamp. This is the beauty of creating videos in your craft room. I am going to add, because this is gonna kind of just not work so well, but the cool thing is that I have 3 of them, right? 3 kind of gaps, and I love things in 3s. I love doing my embellishments in 3s. Odd numbers are great for visual effects. So we're just gonna turn this the other way, but still he's going to be right here, and he's going to show up beautifully. All right, so now I feel a lot better about this. I will be sure to describe and add to the blog post wherever this star came from, because I did just look in a box and grab it. All right, so now we have our stamping done, almost. I'm gonna set these aside because I have this out. I might as well take the rest of the stamping and get that done. So I'm gonna take this off because that's a lot of ink there. And this is for the inside of the card. So I have this cute little, let's toast to yesterday's achievements and tomorrow's bright future. I think that's a great thing to say to somebody when it's their birthday. Now, I'm looking to see how well I lined this up. I think it's a little off, but I'm not sure because it's a red rubber. So even though it looks like it's going like that, it might not be. So I'm gonna start over here, and I'm looking at the bottom here and this line right here. And I'm just gonna stamp it straight. So when I say stamp it straight, I mean that the block is straight. Hey, and that looks very straight. Now I just need to take this, and I'm just gonna grab any scrap. I'll use this, a little bit of this, and I'm gonna put it right here. I'm not gonna stamp on this. I'm just using it to give me a line across my layer that matches these 2 lines. See how I'm straight here? So now I can ink this up, and once again, the bottom of this block is gonna go along there, because I know it's straight. I'm going right for the middle. And then once I set it down, that's it. That's where it's gonna be. If it's not perfect, oh well, I tried. 3, 2, 1, lift. Ha, love it, it looks great. Okay, fantastic, just what you want. All right, so we'll set this aside because this is a very inky stamp pad and I wanna let the ink soak into that before I glue it inside the card. So let's finish the triple time technique. We're going to need this eventually, and we're going to need our other 2 mats. First thing I'm going to do is do all the pieces. So we're going to take this one, and I'm just gonna stick with my permanent tape runner, Stampin' Seal from Stampin' Up, because it's handy. Yes, I have liquid glue nearby. I could definitely use it, but with this technique, you really don't need to, because this border right here really saves you. Now, I will say, when you buy the technique library, you will get the measurements for this, but one variation that you could easily use is, these are 1/4 inch off. You could definitely make all your mats 1/8 of an inch. The reason I would not do that in this case particularly is because this is a very bold stamp, so you get like pretty good size skip stamped images. So if you have the bigger mat, it just makes it not stand out as much. But if you're doing kind of thin line stamps, which stick around to the end because I do have another sample, and it's a Christmas one because we're getting to that time of year. Got to make Christmas cards. And so I'm going to show you using this technique. And actually, this is a great technique for Christmas cards because you can do this over several nights. You could do all your cutting, and then you could do all your prepping, because this can just, your little stacks can just stay together. And then one night you just stamp all your little stacks. And then you come back when your next favorite TV show is on, and then you do what I'm doing right here, and you do all the gluing. And then on the last night, you do all the greetings inside and out, and you're finished. So this is definitely a great mass production card. You could definitely do it for your holiday cards. I'm talking, but I'm also lining up. Sometimes I have to be a little quiet when I'm trying to line up. There we go. Now I'm even more happy that I did these stars because they really filled it in nice. Now I can put my birthday wishes greeting on here. Oh, where did my little guy go? There it is. Been around for a while. I do tend to lose things, and I lied. I'm not done stamping yet. I grabbed my birthday wishes from the Simply Said stamp set, and now I'm gonna put my tools away here. I'm not gonna touch those. You can't see it all the way off camera, but that big happy birthday is just looking very scary and messy. I'm gonna set this aside, and then we're gonna do birthday wishes. And this is easier because it's a clear stamp. It's easier to see. But you do want to use the same kind of technique. Let the paper soak the ink off the stamp. Do not shove the ink into the paper because that is how you get a bunch of ink messes along with a very blurry stamp. And this is a little thinner than what we've been working with, so you want to make sure it's... Now we're going to grab some dimensionals, hopefully. Here we go. Dimensionals, yay. I do believe by now I can actually share with you how I store my embellishments, including my dimensionals. So that video, I believe, came out the week before this one. So I will make sure that I link that one below if you're interested in how I store my embellishments. After all these years, I finally found a method that I really like. Doesn't take me a lot of time. See, look, I can slide this over, and I've got that cool star hanging out there. And the birthday is right there, so this is awesome. I am going to leave this alone. It is for a guy. You have some wood kind of embellishments, maybe some buttons. You could definitely use those. But me, I've got a lot of like brightly colored circles and a lot of blingy bling, and that's just not going to work. I am going to use my liquid glue just because I already misplaced my tape runner, but that's okay. That is par for the course around here. All right, set that aside, get this on here. All right, so now the card is complete. This greeting is actually from a stamp set that has greetings for Halloween, fall, Christmas, New Year's, all sorts of stuff. But we are using it for a birthday card. Let's look at the two cards. Very similar, but I did move this over because we had a little smudge. And then I promised you that I would show you a Christmas card. So this is using the Merry Christmas. And you can see what I mean. This is so bold that the mat covers up a little bit. This optically kind of goes together a little better because the words are so much smaller. But look at, that is literally using one stamp from a group of stamps, but it's just one Merry Christmas that I stamped all over in green when I had the whites stacked together. Then I spliced all the white, or all the greens inside the whites. I stamped in cherry ink the Merry Christmas on the same die cut that I used here, one of these little guys here. And then I just added some red and green bling, and I'm done. Like I said, this is a great technique. It's pretty easy. Over several nights, you could definitely get this done if that's the way you want to do it. Or you could do it in a marathon weekend, which is how I seem to end up doing my Christmas cards. But anyway, the triple time technique is super popular, super fun. It will always be a go-to technique for me. If you'd like to get your hands on almost 80 other techniques, then I highly recommend you click on the link that's showing right about here, and that will take you to my technique library and you can check it out. Thank you so much for watching today. If you made it till this point, I really appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is rung. If you wouldn't mind clicking the like button on your way out, because I really appreciate the help with the algorithm. Have a great day.